who will just straight up be like, okay, that's the price. There's going to be an X amount of people who will try to negotiate but won't get far. And then there's going to be people who are playing the game just like they are. So that's why you contact so many manufacturers. If you contact 3, well, then maybe those 3 are ones that wouldn't want to negotiate. But if you contact 10, 20 manufacturers, I had a student who just told me, he's like, I messaged 25 manufacturers and there was only 2. There was only 2 who gave me the price that I needed, right? So that being said, pretty normal to have a lot of manufacturers reject essentially what you want. Okay. But y'all, we are somewhat just kind of getting started. What up, YT? We're live on YT as well. Posted some gym videos on the TikTok today. Been posting like 4 or 5 videos a day. Maybe I'll post more. I don't know. Y'all have been showing some of the videos love recently. You got to make them believe this is not your first rodeo, even though it is, so they have confidence. Yeah, exactly. I'll give you guys like the questions are dry, so I'll give long versions of answers until the questions start popping again, or pop in. When I first started, manufacturers move differently than I first started, and I imagine that they moved differently prior to that. But there was people who would go and say, hey, we want to order a product, and then they would order a sample, and they would and manufacturers used to give away free samples. They would get a free sample and then they would ghost a manufacturer. There's a bunch of tire kickers contacting manufacturers and all this stuff. Like, you think that you're the only one who contacted them that day? I doubt it. I bet they got multiple inquiries the same day that you contacted them. Like, the world is big. You have to understand that. Multiple states in the United States, multiple countries in North America, South America. Like, there's 100 and something countries that can sell on Amazon US alone. So with that being said, and that's just Amazon, all the e-commerce, all the people trying to get products manufactured. There's a lot of tire kickers that these people talk to. So the way that you move, making them seem like, hey, like I'm not some new beginner, because think of all the beginners who contacted them. Hey, I have this idea. I want to sell this product. Contact them, waste their time, never place an order. Show them that you're a serious buyer. Show them that in the future, you're going to place bigger orders. Show that, like, and people ask me, when should I negotiate, before or after I order a sample from a manufacturer? Both. I negotiate before and then I negotiate after, because how do I word it? I negotiate after because of the fact that it makes me more serious. I've spent money with that manufacturer. They didn't give me a free sample, none of that. I paid for a sample. I paid for the shipping, and bada boom, bada bing. Now they take me more seriously. So I'll continue my negotiations. If I got a product from 15 to 14 before I ordered a sample, I'm going to try to take it from 14 to 13 or from 14 to 12 after I order a sample. What up, Chef? Can you teach me? I want to learn. That's what these lives are about. Yo, any questions y'all have about Amazon? All good, brother. Happy Ramadan to you, though. And everybody else who celebrates it. Yes, sir. But that was a long answer. While we wait for more questions, shameless plug, posted some gym videos. If y'all are not already going and showing love to the videos, make sure you do. I post so much free gym content. You help me make 75K. If that's true, awesome. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I have to give people the benefit of the doubt. But if that really is true, God's plan, my friend, did you start an Amazon private label business? Amen to that, Chef. Amen to that. I agree with you, brother. I agree. The last few videos that I posted, I'm talking about product inspection. I did a little review of Amazon reviewers. If you haven't seen that video, that's the second to last that I posted, not including pinned videos, talking about, and then the third and fourth last video talking about how my students, well, one student sold his Amazon business. Go check that out if you haven't. I think that's a super sweet milestone. And then the other video is talking about how 2026 is the year for my Amazon or for my mentorship students to sell their Amazon businesses. I think it's sweet. Like, what profit percentage you aim for? 30% on my very first order before ads. On an established product, like for an account like this, we run over a 40% margin after everything. On average, across accounts, on established products, 36% margins. On a very brand new product, 30% before ads. Oh, Luke, what about ads? Unless you spend 30% of your budget or your margins on ads, you're fine. It's not going to come out of your pocket. Your first goal on your first order is not to make money and run away to the bank with all the profit you made. It's to get proof of concept. Like, I do it because it's a habit, but like, as long as you know you're profitable on your first order, knowing how much profit you made, like, it's not going to make a difference. Like, is the product good? Is the product bad? Did I break even? Did I make a little bit of profit or not? As Amazon, at least, maybe this is ignorant to say, but it's one of the few businesses that I've seen, at least in the Amazon e-commerce space. I can't speak for every business in existence, where margins tend to go up as you scale. So like wholesale, when you scale, you're now having to get bigger warehouses or place bigger POs, hire employees, pallet jacks, forklifts, you know what I'm saying? So your overhead starts to increase. With private label, because you don't have all of that overhead, as you start to place bigger POs, purchase orders, your margins actually go up. Your cost of goods comes down. Now, shipping rates fluctuate, but if you can take more room essentially in a shipping container, then rates can potentially come down. And then your advertising cost of sale comes down as well, because on an established product, your organic rank goes up, which means you're less reliant on ads. So your margins are actually scaling up, whereas other business models, maybe the margins are kind of scaling down, right? So that being said, 30% is what you should aim for. Okay, I just cropped the new screenshot. Let me airdrop it to my phone. Airdrop LB iPhone. Oops, sorry. It took me to my airdropped picture. And now let's do this. Now let's do this and this. And hold up. And this. Bow, 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 brr, brr, brr. That was my that was a massage gun TikTok compliance team. Okay. When are you dropping the thing you've been hyping up? Sometime in 2026, man. It's coming soon, God willing. There were some legal things that held it up. I've been talking about that a lot, which actually works out a little bit better, gives more people a chance to get in and lock it in before we make that announcement. But it is happening sooner than later. The legal thing that we were waiting on, is getting ironed out right now. And so once that's officially ironed out, like no contracts, no, because there's contracts involved in this announcement on my end. No contracts can be signed, nothing like that until the legal side gets straightened out. Once that happens, big announcement is going to be there. It's a year time frame, life. I have broken even on first order, sold out, now restock, sales now slow. Any tips? How long have you been back in stock? Do you have any students from Trinidad or the Caribbean? I have one student from the Caribbean, my boy, Chris. Weight loss, thank you for the follow. Is that 4 M's? Yes, it is. How much do you get each month? 6 figures. Are you okay? Yeah, just a little excited. You dig? Oh, ish, it jumped up a couple 100K. Yeah, I did. I don't know if you were in the live when I mentioned it, Georgios. The one that I had before that, that was an old one because I always keep them in my favorites on my camera roll. And the last one I didn't keep. So the last one was actually 4.2 something. But the one that was just on screen was 4.1 something. So it seemed like a bigger jump, but it wasn't as big of a jump as it seemed. Do you only use ChatGPT to create renders of products you're wanting to get manufactured for pig food? Yeah, in most cases. It just makes it easier. Can you show actual pallets? Not screenshot, no disrespect. No disrespect taken. You asked it quite respectfully. I have videos on my TikTok showing it. I can show it at the end of the live, or you can go watch my videos where I show like that it's not a screenshot. I actually show Amazon dashboards. I used to show it every live. I actually loved it. Why would you not want to show it? TikTok changed their terms of service, so every time I show it, my live gets flagged. It doesn't get taken down, but no new people can join. I got 11 people in the live. I can't afford to not have new people join. So that's why at the end of the live, I don't care. So if you guys are like, hey, show it, I don't care if nobody can join 2 seconds before I'm getting off live. Been in stock for 2 weeks. Organic has gone up, but price is low, which I need to increase. Yeah, I mean, I would start incrementally increasing the price slowly. If you were at like $39.99 and you dropped it to $34.99, don't make that $5 jump right away. Increase it in increments of like maybe $1 or even $1 or so until you get to your target price. 2 weeks is not the worst. What I would say is make sure you're calculating all your numbers, your tacos. Make sure your conversion hasn't significantly dropped. Sometimes I like to try to get like 1 or 2 more reviews when I go back in stock, and then also just dial in your campaigns. What tends to happen is sales are on the up and up for a good product. You go out of stock, obviously your rank crashes. You go back in stock and people expect it to just be this big jump, but it actually is like a much more gradual, and then it starts to stabilize back to where you were. How much you made this year? Well, it's only February 18th. So this year, 6 figures, unless you want to know about last year. But yeah, only February 18th this year. It's looking up to be, God willing, a great financial year. So that's going to be exciting. You're doing with a brand? I have my own brand. I'm not selling existing brands. I'm not selling Nike, Adidas, anything like that. I have my own brands. TikTok Shop or Shopify? I love this question because it should never be an either or. Right? That's like saying, should I eat carbs or should I eat protein? That's maybe a silly analogy, but you should eat both. You know what I mean? You're trying to be optimized, efficient. You should do both. So like when people ask, well, you didn't ask this, but some people will ask, oh, why do you only do Amazon? Why don't you do Shopify or TikTok Shop? Why do you assume that? Like my main thing is Amazon. It's the main sales channel, but that doesn't mean that we're not selling everywhere else. I think it's great to be omnipresent. Different platforms achieve different goals, different buyer or consumer behavior. So like, for example, like TikTok Shop, You have the virality aspect, whether it's another creator or yourself. Like, you have a lot of exposure on TikTok Shop. You don't get that same exposure on Shopify. You get a different version of exposure on Amazon, but not like a video that can, you post and gets 100K views, and how many eyeballs does that take for your product? Now, you have a lot of eyeballs on Amazon, but again, different consumer behaviors, different reasons for the platform. So if I'm thinking that I'm trying to create a big brand, not just, slaying a few products here and there, a big brand. Well, don't you think that I should be everywhere? Don't you think that the audience who buys on Amazon, I should cater to them? There's people who are on TikTok Shop, I should cater to them. FB ads driving traffic to my own Shopify store, catering to audiences like that. Like, there's different channels. Thoughts on selling unbranded / generic products supplied from China? It can work, but I always think having a brand, like, let's take two people who sell the same exact product, like same differentiators. It's the same to a T. One is generic, unbranded. One is branded, and the one that's branded, even if they have 100 followers on social media, they're trying to make a push and grow the brand. Who's going to do better? Assuming, again, same strategies. We're assuming everything is the same ad strategies, all that. The one who has the brand is going to do better. So I think brand is always a good option. Is it necessary for your success? No. Does anybody even care about the brand that they sell on Amazon? No. Or buy on Amazon, excuse me. No. Name me the last 5 Amazon brands that you bought that weren't like Nike, Adidas, big brands. You couldn't name them unless you actually went to your orders page or something. So in that aspect, I don't think brand matters on Amazon. In the aspect of trying to build something big, like, brand name doesn't matter, your logo doesn't matter, but creating a brand, there's no net negative to it. There can only be a net positive to it. How did you started as private label? Yes, started with private label back in 2019, been doing it ever since. Store automation, thank you for the follow. TCH, thank you for the follow. Sultan, thank you for the follow. Appreciate all of you, everybody in the live, asking questions, following. How to build a brand. It starts with one product. Think every company. Nike, they started with one shoe. And they sold that shoe. And they built they advertised their brand. They did marketing, all that stuff. And then they came out with another shoe. And then another, and then another. That's really, it sounds so simple. You're like, no, there has to be something else. But it really is that. You launch one good product, Scrub Daddy. Scrub Daddy came out. Actually, the story of Scrub Daddy is super sick. I always talk about that brand on live, but I'm low-key a little obsessed with the brand in their story. It was one product. It was a sponge. It was not intended to be a sponge when it was first created, but when it became what it is, started off as a sponge. And then they built that, they grew that, and then they added more SKUs and more SKUs and more SKUs. That is how you build a brand. You start with one product. That product starts to get traction, assuming, whether it's your first product, second product, whatever. You find one successful product, and then you build off of that. Your brand doesn't even have to be all toy products or all baby products or all one category. It simply needs to just build on top of each other. You need high-end marketing budget to cone? No, you do not need a high-end marketing budget. If you go into a crazy category like supplements or makeup or topicals, yeah, probably. I wouldn't go into those categories though. The categories that I go into, no. In fact, my marketing budget is supported by my profit margin. So it's not like I'm launching a product on Amazon and saying like, I need $10,000 to market this product. No, if I launch a product on Amazon for $5,000, now things happen. So I'm not saying this is always going to be how it plays out, but my intent is not to inject any more money into that product until I know that it's successful. Like, I'm in a position now where I have capital to play with. So like if I start with 100 to 300 units, which is what I'm always doing, when I first started, I started with 300 units. I had to wait for my Amazon payouts, and then I had to reorder more inventory. Luckily, I established something called net terms with my manufacturer very quickly, so that helped with that whole cash flow issue. But I had to slowly inject the capital from the profits that I made back into the business. Now I'm at a stage where it's like, okay, I spend $5,000 on a launch. Let's say I order 300 units and I know that product's going to go do well. I can go spend 20 grand on a reorder. I have that proof of concept. So that would increase my budget. That would make me inject more capital into the business. But I'm never sitting there saying like, I need to spend 10 grand to market this, inject more into the business. For like chargers, food containers, phone chargers, like 80% are unbranded on Amazon. Those are the products that you shouldn't sell. I don't know when it's coming out, but I did a collab video with one of my buddies, e-com side hustle, and we were talking about why people fail on Amazon. And something that I brought up was the most common product that people think to sell on Amazon is phone chargers. And he laughed because he knows that that's true. He said, it's like phone chargers, phone cases, and there's a few others. Those aren't the products you should sell. Those are not the products you should sell at all. What do you think of Travis? Who's Travis? Passion product? I don't agree with passion products. I'm actually very against passion products. Like I don't need to be passionate about what I sell. I am passionate about being successful. If I have to sell, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a really boring product. If I have to sell grandma's, if I have to sell arthritis knee braces, something that I don't use for people who are over the age of 60, I don't know, I'm trying to be really specific and really boring and something that like I would not use. If I had to sell something like that was going to be my key to success, sign me up. Sign me up. I don't want to sell the product that I use every day. I don't want to sell the phone charger or the AirPod case or the protein powder. Like none of that stuff I want to sell. Aside from my first product, I call that luck / God's plan / just timing. That's where luck comes in, the luck of the timing. Because that was a product that I was passionate about, but it just so happened that it was an up and coming market. It wasn't established. So I didn't go into something like protein powder, be like, I use protein powder, let me go sell it. The mentorship, we have different packages. We have self-starter for 1K, 3K if you want the full mentorship, and then it goes up from there. It is going up once I make an announcement sometime this year. We're making a big announcement for the program. But one of my most successful product launches to date, aside from, it's in the top 10 best product launches that I've ever had, was a product that I talked so much smack on. It was an account where I had a business partner. The numbers looked good. I was at a point where it's like, okay, we're just launching new products. Like I don't need this product to work for the sake of my livelihood. Blessed, thank God. But there's a product, the numbers look good. Our differentiator was good. Everything was good, but I just talk smack on it. And like we would be on our business partner meetings and I'd be like, I don't like this product. Who's going to use this product? He's like, the numbers don't lie, bro. I was like, I know, but I just got to talk my ish. We launched the product, blows any launch that I've ever, or not any launch, blows most of the launches that I've had out of the water. It's not about being passionate. By the way, maybe I can't say I will never use it, but at the current state of my life, I will never use that product. It's not something that 99.99999% of the people that I know or have ever talked to would use that product. But guess what? It's a product that sold. What category should we focus on to build a brand? Home and kitchen and dining, office products, pet supplies, sports and outdoors, health and household, I already said kitchen and dining, toys and games, baby products, patio and lawn, tools, or home, tools and repair, or no, tools, home and improvement. Those are great categories. What's good, my guy? Just letting you know I'm still here, getting some things together, then back on the grind. What up, Chris? Chris, I was just talking about you, bro. Somebody asked if I had a student who was from the Caribbean. You're in the Caribbean, right? You're from the Caribbean, right? Did I get that right or wrong? Catching up, trying to find where I left off on the questions. Do you still have access to reach out to seller support, Wiggles? I don't use that Wi-Fi. Bro, that guy, I gotta keep it 100 with you, man. Like I respect that you're trying to hustle, but I don't have respect for anybody who tries to hijack listings, man. Uh, you're trying to like I said, man. Like first of all, anybody ever tried to do that to my listing, I would just kick you off the listing because we have brand registry. But you put sellers in a position who maybe can't afford brand registry or trying to get it up and starting to hijack it because you don't understand. And for what? 25 sales? Unless you're doing 25 sales a day, bro, that's pocket change. You could go to the swap meet, buy some products and flip them on eBay and probably have a better return than trying to hijack on people's listings. So I can't give you advice on how to capitalize on continuously hijacking on people's listings. Figure it out in the sense of like, figure it out to do it on your own. Go create your own listing, bro. But yeah, I can't respect that. I respect the hustle in most cases, but I can't respect that hustle. And in fact, one day you will go create, it always comes around, bro. There's a business karma. One day you will go try to create your own listing. There's been like very rare cases where I've seen people who had brand registry not be able to get hijackers on. Something tells me that you'll create your own listing, try to get brand registry, have a hijacker pop up on your listing, and it's going to tank your sales, bro. No, it doesn't. The reason isn't regardless. It's like, nah, bro, I had to save up capital, so I had to go stick up the liquor store. Like, no, bro, you just go figure it out a different way. That's my take on it. Maybe I have a strong opinion on it, but I teach people how to sell on Amazon. I get messages every day. I've seen what that has done to people's accounts, and I just can't have respect for that. Marketing digital, selling products on Amazon. What's the product? I sell multiple different products. Is this live on YT as well? Yes, it is, Conrad. So I always go, if I'm on live on TikTok and I'm in my office, I go live on YT as well. I just answer the questions on TikTok, but what's cool is when the live ends, it's recorded on YT, so you guys can go watch back any live recording that I've done in my office. Jasmine, thank you for the follow. Also, much love. You to go, Conrad. What about barbershop styling products? It always depends on the market numbers. Most products that come off the top of my head that are barbershop products aren't products that I would launch. What business do you do? I sell products on Amazon. Whole 300 plus K. It was more like 2 plus 200K because I was using an older screenshot by accident. I'm just learning, and when I first started, everyone said to use ASIN, so I'm just trying to learn. I want to list, but I'm not sure how much capital I need to product Vine ads. Bro, just sell, like I said, sell products on eBay. Don't hijack on people's listings. Like I know that you're in, I guess intent is 9/10 of the law. So I'm not trying to paint you out to be like this bad dude or anything like that. But what you're doing is bad. So it's like you may not have known intent is 9/10 of the law, but now you know. So if you continue to do it, something tells me that the karma when you go and try to start your own business is going to come back in not a positive way. That's just my take. I've seen it play out. How do you find inspection companies? How do you know they're trustworthy and legit? Usually, like, I found them on Alibaba prior to creating my own inspection company that we use. So when you go order a product on Alibaba, when you go to the order details, scroll all the way to the bottom, it'll say like other options or something like that. I think other options. I have a video about it. And then you click that, and then it'll show you all the different inspection companies that are third party contracted with Alibaba. They don't inspect a lot of units. That's the only issue. Don't want to keep doing it if I don't have to. I'm just unsure what to do. Like I said, bro, sell products on eBay. You need 3 to 6K to start on Amazon. I was wondering if they're on Alibaba, but I also forgot you have your own one now. Yeah, the one that we created is far superior. And I say that objectively, not because it's my own. Like on Alibaba, the highest inspection I believe is $210. And no matter whether you order 1,000 units or 20 units, the max units that they'll inspect is 10. With ours, it's based on AQ level 2 inspections. So I believe it's 190. It's the only inspection we offer. And how many units are inspected are based on your order. So I believe if you order 200 units, if your lot size is like 200 units, the inspection size is 32 units. So it's more than 10% of your inventory. And then so what's that times 10? 150 times so if you order 1,000 units, they're inspecting 170 units. Whereas if you ordered 1,000 units and got it inspected by Alibaba, for more money, they're inspecting 10 units. So that's why objectively I say the one that we created is better. How many Amazon Vine reviews should I have on my listing before I start running ads? I would say like 10. Hi, Luke. I hope you're doing well. Course is going great. Thanks again for being you. Kiwi. Shout out all my Kiwis. One of my favorite countries that I've been to date. For those who don't know, they call people from New Zealand Kiwis. But I appreciate you, brother. One of the newest students or newer students. Glad that you're enjoying the program. When you're back in New Zealand, you come stay with us. We'd love to have you, bro. Nice, man. Yeah, well, depending on where you're at in New Zealand, we'll have to link up. I will be back, God willing. So I loved it there. Top 3 favorite countries, and I've been to like 20 plus. So it's dope. Can I borrow $1? No. Okay, so once I get about 10 reviews, how should I run the ads? How much should I run? I have videos on my profile how to structure your ads on my YT channel and my TikTok. I answer it that way because it'll be easier for you to watch a video on how to do it than me explain it to you on the live and not have like my campaign manager in front of me or anything like that. Because you have to understand keyword research, you have to understand the structure of your campaigns. And if I just say, okay, create a broad phrase, exact match campaign, one auto campaign, like if you've never opened up the Amazon ad console, what I just said sounds like Chinese to you. So that's why I say it's better to watch the video of me actually doing it. I have step-by-step tutorials on my YT channel, on my TikTok channel. I have a tab on my TikTok channel, multiple tabs. If you guys ever wanted to see mentorship student wins, If you guys wanted the free course that I have on TikTok, that's in like a little tab. So you click on the tab and then it goes and shows all the videos in that playlist. We have over 110 videos on Amazon ads. We have over 80 videos on product research. I sold 500 units, paused PPC, still getting 2 to 3 organic sales daily. Is this a successful launch? Why did you, well, I don't know. That's vague. So number one, sold 500 units, great. But you paused PPC, which correct me if I'm wrong, but makes me believe that you were losing money on PPC, or else you would have never paused PPC. So if you were losing money on PPC but sold 500 units, but then turned off PPC and are getting 2 to 3 organic sales daily, is this a successful launch? No, I would not consider that a successful launch. That's not data. That's not data in which would give me confidence to reorder a product. Now, if you were profitable, that's a different story. But if my scenario that I just played out to you was correct, then no, I don't think that would be considered successful. Can you turn it around? Yes, but at this moment, no. I get you. I've done 25 to 30K selling on TikTok. I'm switching to Amazon for now. Nice. I mean, since you've already done what you've done on TikTok, once you launch on Amazon, sell your products on TikTok. So you sell courses. I don't sell courses. I have a mentorship in my TikTok bio, but I also have, I don't know, usually people who ask that question haven't been in the live for more than 7 seconds, but I've also been on live for 40 minutes answering everybody's question for free. I post 4 videos on TikTok every day for free, over 2,000 videos on TikTok for free, and I have a free course on TikTok for free. I have free content on YT for free, going over every step on Amazon. So yes, do I have a mentorship? Yes. Can you learn all this stuff online for free? Yes. Am I quite literally the guy online making the content for free? Also yes. So now that we've cleared that up, 10% profitable, but inventory run now at 30 units left. Okay. Got you. Okay, then yeah, bro. W. Okay, sorry. I was wrong with my assessment. W. So you turned off PPC because you're trying to slow down sales because you're about to run out of stock. You're still getting 2 to 3 organic sales a day. This is also why when people type things on TikTok, sometimes in my head, anyways, my head can go a different way because it's typed out on a screen. So yes, my friend, that is considered a successful launch. Congratulations. I think that would be great. I mean, if you were 10% margins on your first order, makes sense. Smaller order, you haven't negotiated, you are still dialing in ads. I'd be curious to know what your TACOS is if you know that. If you don't know that, that's a metric you need to be calculating. TACOS stands for total advertising cost of sale. So that's going to be your ad spend divided by your total sales, which you can find in your business reports on Seller Central. What extension should I use to see how many sellers for a specific product or in a category? For product research, I use Helium 10. That is another topic that I make quite a lot of videos about, that guy, both on my TikTok and my YT. The 2 tabs on Amazon that I have, I think I'm going to add an Amazon FBA tab, like just general Amazon videos. But the 2 main tabs, well, 3 main tabs that I have on my TikTok, playlists. I don't know why I call them tabs. The 3 main playlists I have on my TikTok are the free course. It's like 40 something minutes across 8 videos going over all the steps. Product research playlist and Amazon ad playlist. Amazon ads is my favorite aspect when it comes to Amazon. Yeah, I watched like 10 of your videos about products and launching. I love it. That is why I make this content. Speaking of the content, if you guys have not already, make sure you go check out my last few videos. I post multiple gems every single day on business, e-commerce, how to sell on Amazon, all of that good stuff. So make sure that you're following the page. And shameless plug, I give out all the content for free, but if you wanted to have me as your mentor, check out the AMZ Masterclass. Shameless plug, I gotta throw it in there. Auntie, thank you for the follow. And what is the average profit margin right now? Mine is about 30%. I would say average about 30%. My average across accounts, 36% on that account, over 40%. So profit margins vary. It just depends on your negotiations, your advertising cost of sale. But yes, there of course is an average. Average for private label, I would say like 25 to 35%. Sorry, it's my dog's toy. Should I start FBA? I already have an account. I need 2.5K a month. If you need 2.5K a month ASAP, no, you should not start FBA as the way to get 2.5K a month ASAP. It takes time to build a business. When people ask like, I need money now? I know it's a genuine question, but when people say like, I need money now, should I start XYZ business? That would be like, I need a fruit salad now. Should I plant a tree right now? It's like, I think there's other ways to get a fruit salad than planting a tree, because you're going to have to nurture the tree. You're going to have to water the tree. You're going to have to give it time to grow. And then at some point, you're going to be able to pull fruit from that tree and make your little fruit salad. Amazon's the same. You can't just start an Amazon business and start pulling out capital, make sales instantly, boom, boom, boom. You have to nurture the business. You have to reinvest back into the business. You have to let the business grow, get it to a point where the cash flow can sustain itself, and then start picking from the tree, aka taking money into your bank account as profit. Another thing, nobody should take the opinion of anybody on the internet as to what you should do with your life and your money. Should I start FBA? Should I do drop shipping? Should I start a restaurant? Should I go to college? I don't know. That's up to you. I'm not living your life. If somebody tells somebody to go invest their life savings into the lottery, and they lose all their life savings and don't win, the person who gave you that advice, they have no obligation to you. They're not going to pay you back. They're not going to be at your aid when you're down and out. And you know what I'm saying? And as in the same way as if somebody gave you the winning lottery numbers, they shouldn't expect anything in return. If they wanted it themselves, they should have went and bought the lottery ticket themselves. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't take people's advice well, hold on. Take people's advice, but don't listen to anybody on what you should do with your life. There was people who told me, Luke, you should go to college. Luke, you need to do this. And if I listened to half the people who told me what I should and shouldn't do, I wouldn't be in the position that I am today. Fruit salad analogy, so funny. Thanks. I think I'm going to start using that one. I already used the tree analogy, but I think the fruit salad makes it a more fun analogy, to be honest with you. So added that to the arsenal. Let's go. Y'all got any more questions? It was a good live so far. Make sure that you're following the page, by the way, and have notifications on. I go live almost every day except for except for Sundays. What are you talking about? Talking about selling products on Amazon. So make sure y'all are following. Make sure you guys go like some of the last videos, because then it shows the TikTok algorithm, hey, I want to watch more of this content. Protein, thank you for the follow. Make sure you're following, like my boy Protein just did, and a lot of others of you today, so that you can see the live, so that you can see all that. Does Amazon ever lower the 15%? No. And if you do FBA, they take more than 15%. 15% is the referral fee. That's the standard across most categories. Some categories like jewelry have like a 17%, but 15% is standard across. There are things where you can like get lower fees, like Amazon added a new incentive where if you get brand registered within the first 90 days of starting an Amazon account, they'll give you like $50K back on your first $1 million in sales within the first year. $1,000 ad credit, reduced FBA fees. So there's things like that. But like outside of that, does Amazon just lower the fees? No, they will not. On that note, everybody, it's been a great live. Make sure you're following. Make sure that you guys go check out the videos, and make sure if you wanted to have me as your mentor, you check out the AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio, the Harvard of Amazon private label education. Go check it out. Go check it out. I hope everybody has a blessed rest of their night, and I will see you all soon, God willing.